This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 643, on Taking a Big Swing by Shannon McNay of CaitFlanders.com. And I'm Dan, your host, and this is where I read to you from some of the best blogs on personal finance. I narrate articles from Mr. Money Mustache, Afford Anything, Early Retirement Extreme, Get Rich Slowly, Budgets Are Sexy, and more, sort of like a gigantic ongoing audiobook that is free of charge. And before we get to today's post, hiring is challenging, but there's one place you can go where hiring is simple and smart. That place is ZipRecruiter, where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. Try it for free at ziprecruiter.com/OFD. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. For now, let's get right to our post as we continue optimizing your life. On Taking a Big Swing by Shannon McNay with CaitFlanders.com. One of my favorite things about Cait is that no matter what she does, she either goes big or goes home. She got fed up with her debt, so she tackled that beast faster than most people manage to accumulate it. She wanted to change her view on spending, so she went on a 1-year, then 2-year shopping ban. Every time Cait takes a swing, she aims for the fences, something I think we can all learn from. So many articles will tell you to take small, sustainable steps to a better life, and I should know, I'm often writing this advice myself. But as I get older, I'm finding it harder to fit it all in, even when all of the its are small things. And I'm starting to wonder if real change is better taken in one huge fell swoop, like ripping the Band-Aid off. Rather than bunting and going for first base, what if we took a big fat swing every time? What if we forgot about trying to get to first base, then second base, then finally home? What if instead we always went for the home run? As I thought about this idea some more, I realized that every goal I achieved happened in the midst of massive change. I wanted to fulfill my lifelong dream of moving to New York, so at 25, I moved to New York. Surely there was some planning involved. I saved vigorously for 3 months, but at the end of those 3 months, I had a job and an apartment and was living in New York in a matter of 2 weeks. Boom! Suddenly, I was a New Yorker. Then I wanted to focus on my writing. Instead of thinking about it and talking about it all the time the way I used to, I just did it. I read Stephen King's On Writing. I created a habit of writing for 30 minutes every morning before work and for several hours on Saturdays and Sundays. 3 months later, I had written a novel. A first draft, but good enough to submit to literary agents. A few years later, I realized that I wanted to have more impact in my work. I did some research and discovered that startups could help me do that. In about as long as it took to convince my now husband to move to San Francisco, which was a few months, we made the move. I didn't get a job or apartment as quickly, but I had more money saved up and a stronger network. It all worked out. During my time in San Francisco, I finally boosted my small monthly efforts to pay off debt into overdrive. I changed my leisurely payoff pace into a goal with unmitigated focus. Within 1.5 years, I was consumer debt-free. A few years later, after moving back to New York, I contemplated a career as a freelance writer. I knew the best way to go would be to build contacts, but my work hours were way too long to take on any extra work, one downside of startups. Then my company was acquired and I had a choice. I could either work at the new company, find a new job, or attempt to become a freelance writer. With some money saved and a thumbs up from my husband, I took the leap into freelance life. Focus is a powerful thing. Moving to New York, writing a novel, getting involved in startups, paying off debt, becoming a freelancer. These were all big dreams in my life, and I accomplished them all through a willingness to try and fail with an intense, relentless focus. You know, kind of like the unrelenting focus it takes to maintain a 2-year shopping ban. I can't speak for Cait on her shopping ban, but I can say that for me, I enjoyed the process of striving for these goals. They didn't feel as unsustainable or as hard to manage as they originally did. In fact, diving in head first was invigorating. I felt more alive than ever before. In trusting myself to achieve, I felt freer than ever. In that tunnel vision, I enjoyed the security of knowing that I had a plan, and nothing could stop me as long as I didn't take my eye off the prize. In understanding my own resourcefulness, my confidence to reach even greater heights grew. As I pushed myself, I realized how much more I could do and how much more I was capable of. I never would have learned any of this through tentative baby steps. That's what I'd been trying to do up until that first big swing at 25, and those baby steps never worked for me. I'm not trying to say that you should dump everything in your life in service of one goal, consequences be. I still had to think about other things like health, finances, and relationships, but I learned how to manage them efficiently so I could maintain my focus on the largest goal at hand. Everything else was like sleeping and bathing, things we do every day but don't overanalyze. What I'm trying to say is that in all these instances, I set my sights on one thing and prepared for the dive. I didn't prepare too much, lest I begin to treat the preparation as if it's the action itself, but enough to be ready for worst-case scenarios. Then, I took my swing. I didn't let myself fear failure because in my mind, the only true failure would have been inaction. In a culture telling us to strive for balance at every turn, I've learned that balance is often one of the most difficult things to achieve. In fact, I've often felt more pressure in trying to reach balance, the very thing that's supposed to relieve the pressure. What if we worked on focus instead of balance? We could then knock our goals down one by one, enabling us to efficiently achieve all of them. Now that I've reached large financial goals, I know what I need to do to continue to reach new financial goals. I don't have to keep reinventing the wheel, and now that I've changed careers several times, I can do so with minimal cognitive load. In fact, life recently threw me another very pleasant curveball with an opportunity that I never saw coming, leading me away from freelance writing and into a full-time position that will serve as a great learning and growth opportunity. Just goes to show the importance of being ready for anything and seeing challenges and opportunities as one and the same. When we figure out how to achieve one of our goals, we can use what we learned to achieve new goals. But if we keep trying to make it all work at the same time, we end up spinning our wheels in frustration. So why not take the big swing so you can take it again and again as your life and your goals change? You just listened to the post titled On Taking a Big Swing by Shannon McNay with CaitFlanders.com. And thank you once again to ZipRecruiter for sponsoring this episode. Hiring used to be hard. Multiple job sites, stacks of resumes, a confusing review process. But today, hiring can be easy and you only have to go to one place to get it done. ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. ZipRecruiter sends your job to over 100 of the web's leading job boards, but they don't stop there. With their powerful matching technology, ZipRecruiter scans thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invite them to apply to your job. As applications come in, ZipRecruiter analyzes each one and spotlights the top candidates so you never miss a great match. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. With results like that, it's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the highest-rated hiring site in America. And right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. That's ZipRecruiter.com/OFD. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And if you would like to hear similar content to today's post from another narrator, you can check out one of our other shows, Optimal Living Daily. That one is hosted by Justin and covers productivity, minimalism, personal development, all that good stuff, and from many of the authors that you hear on this show, including Cait Flanders. So it's sort of a mix of all the shows in our little network. And again, that is Optimal Living Daily. Check it out. And that's going to do it for today here on Optimal Finance Daily. Thank you so much for being here and for being a loyal subscriber. And we'll be back with you tomorrow. I'll have a post from caniretireyet.com. So I'll see you there, where your optimal life awaits.